wonders shall never end. Can you imagine what ßØஏØ is lobbying to get from the government? Exhausted Boko commanders desperate to lobby for state pardon. Boko camp is in disarray as fresh facts have emerged that since the Chief of Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, took over the operation of the Nigerian Army in northeast Nigeria, some commanders of the Boko sect have elected to surrender and abandon Abubakar Shekau on the condition that the government grants them pardon. This is coming on the heels of the intensified military action by the Nigerian Army against the sect in the past weeks. According to military sources, some of the top commanders of the sect have indicated their willingness to surrender if the government can grant them that state pardon. A top military source in the know of the new plot stated that with the way and manner the Boko commanders are going about their resolve to surrender indicates that all might not be well, saying, "I can tell you that the leader of the Boko sect is on the verge of losing some of his top commanders who, by all indication, are overwhelmed and war-torn. They have come under heavy military bombardments from several flanks, and this has indeed put them in a very tight corner that the two options left are either to surrender or die." He further stated that Abubakar Shekau seems to have lost the trust of some of his commanders with the manner they have reached out for a truce through process. "I can confirm to you that some top commanders of the sect have taken their destinies into their hands by reaching out through process for President Muhammadu Buhari to grant them pardon, for them to surrender and undergo rehabilitation and reintegration into civil life." This is not coming as a surprise to the military hierarchy, as the Chief of Army Staff has been leading the operation since he relocated to Borno State some weeks back. The Chief of Army Staff has taken over the operations of the various sectors of Operation Lafia Dole, and all the commanders are on their toes as it stands. Another source, who preferred anonymity, stated that if the government decides to oblige the request of the Boko commanders, there is a tendency for Abubakar Shehu to be killed by his lieutenant, who are obviously in a fix with the turn of events in recent times. Abubakar Shekau has been in hiding on fringes of the Lake Chad Basin region. Credible intel gathered indicates that he has been trying to pacify some of his top commanders to continue to fight the end, but this seems complicated because there is no escape route since their means of retreat has been barricaded by troops under the multinational joint task force led by Chadian soldiers. Before now, the Boko group relied heavily on the escape route from Mile 4, a small Nigerian village a few kilometers west of the town of Baga, to Ngobua in Chad, from where they regrouped and launched subsequent attacks on Nigerian soil. The source further added that the president of Chad, Idris Deby, has shown a renewed commitment in recent times, and this has seen to the operational efficiency of the multinational joint task force with headquarters in N'Djamena, the capital of Chad. Idris Deby has given his words and is living up to them, as the various routes through which the Boko group uses to escape have been taken over by troops from Chad, and this act has left Boko group with no choice than to remain in their present location. This has indeed limited their operations, as they can no longer get supplies, neither can they move to their camps on the islands of the Lake Chad Basin region on Chadian soil. It was also gathered that aside from reaching out to the military hierarchy, some top Boko commanders have also reached out to some international NGOs in northeast Nigeria to seek a truce from them with the federal government. According to a source that was reached by the commanders of the sect, stated that there is more than meets the eyes with the recent offers from the Boko group. He said that it seems Abubakar Shekau is no longer in control of group, as from all indication the group is in disarray. I do not know what the issues are precisely, but I got a text message in Arabic from a strange number indicating that they are ready for peace, that they want the federal government to grant them forgiveness before they lay down their arms. I could not reach the number when I tried calling, and I subsequently availed the military this information for them to carry out their relevant investigations. I told them plainly that I do not know the sender of the message, neither do I know how they got my number, and I do not want to be a part of it for any reason. This medium was able to gather from reliable sources that the chief of army staff does not seem to dispose to the idea of pardoning the Boko group, as he believes that they have caused enough damage in the northeast. They must be held accountable for their actions. You know, the chief of army staff has been actively present in northeast. These overtures have been passed to him from our intelligence arm, who confirmed that the overtures are true, but it doesn't seem likely that the request would be granted, as the chief of army staff hasn't given a thought to it. He has given directives that all Boko commanders, including Abubakar Shekau, must be captured alive at all costs. This resolve has resonated among the officers and soldiers in the theater of operations. I am not sure anyone would go against the directive of the chief of army staff as it stands. It's a tense atmosphere, as it is believed that the chief of army staff is not in the mood for frivolities. All attempts to reach the Nigeria army for confirmation proved abortive before going to press. So guys, we've been hearing this whole issue that this and that, they are looking for a way to be pardoned and all of that, and which Nigerians, which I quite understand, that even a lot of Nigerians know that there's no big deal about this, because that is what the government has been doing now. Whether the chief of army staff is not even ready to listen, or he believes that they must face the law because they have done enough, because they know that that is what Nigerians have been talking about. So of course you don't expect the chief of army staff Burutai to come out and say, yes, oh, let them come, we are going to grant them amnesty, this and that. Of course you don't expect him to say that, because they already know the mindset of Nigerians. So whether they are going to grant them amnesty is neither here nor there, because they have even started it before now. This is what they have been doing. And you know that some of the lawmakers are proposing a bill that we send them abroad. The ones that they have recruited back in the army, how did they do that? How did they reach that conclusion? The ones that they've taken back into the society, how did they do that? We didn't know. They just told us, and that has been the whole thing. The whole thing has just been like that. So what are we talking about? So it is not a new thing, because at the end of the day, all these things that are coming as coming through the back door, trying to bring, it's like they are trying to prepare Nigerians' mind. That is what they are just doing. Whosoever that is writing, whosoever that is being contacted, this and that, we know that those are all tactics for them to get them repented. Why is it that this thing is now coming up now? It's just coming up now. Of course, one would not be surprised, because the Chadian troops, they've already done most of the job. Maybe because they don't have a escape route where to run to. That is why all of these things are really coming up. But I don't know what Nigerians will have to say. But most times Nigerians will not even be the ones that will decide, but Nigerians can say, no, this is what we want, if we are really serious about it. Because the more they recruit these people back into the system, the more you see that a lot of people will want to go back and do that. I don't know whether that is the way it ought to go, that some people, maybe some crimes are heavier than others, because they are saying if they want them to release or to surrender, that the government must forgive them first. I don't know what you're going to say. I don't know what you think about that. But let's hear what people are saying, what they feel about this whole thing, whether it's going to come as a surprise to them in the first place. Someone say for where after you have neutralized many security operatives, civilians and children, the Chadian authority listen to your faulties, hence you will never dream resurfacing in the soil. The pardon period was gone. Learn from Idris Deby. It's time to finish them. Snake, snake. Anytime, anywhere, another word for snake, na serpent. Please, no mercy for them. Can they account how many innocent citizens and soldiers they have killed? Brutai, please, don't need them alive. We don't need them alive, for God's sake, because they would beg for forgiveness, and if you collect bribe to forgive them, the blood of the innocent citizens will be on your neck. Another says here that I see you as a Boko Haram bandit speaker. You are not a journalist. Amnesty call merits word name. Please don't give them the luxury of being considered pardon. They have wasted so much lives, and window of opportunity for pardon has since been short. I don't think Nigerians even need to say much, because this is what the government has been doing. They've been talking about a repentant Boko members. So what do you think? How do you expect them not to be able to accept this one if they come to say, oh, we want to repent? Definitely they will still give them, because they've been giving them in the past, which Nigerians have been complaining about. So this idea of begging Burutai not to accept, I don't think I'm sure it goes beyond that. So guys, let's hear your opinion. Leave your comments below and let's have your take.